now plugged into the Social Plug Podcast.
What is going on, everybody? I am Johnny Martinez, and you are plugged in to Social Plug Media, where we connect you to level up, and where we rise and we win. Today, we have the privilege of being on the Rise and Win show. It's another great episode where we win and we rise, and we highlight those who are winning and rising in business, in organizations, in relationships, in their families, and well beyond that. So I was able to build a relationship with this young man that we're going to have on here, our guest. He's in-house, and I'm not going to show you his face yet. But I was able to build a relationship, and I'm going to tell the story just a little bit, all right? So I was on a cruise last year, December. We're out in the in the ocean. I don't know, in the middle of the ocean, in the Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, whatever you want to call it. But we're out in the ocean. And I come up to this man. I say, hey, how's the cruise going so far? And he's like, hey, it's pretty good. Where are you from? I said, oh, we're from San Antonio. And he was like, so am I. So that's how our relationship started. Because I would say I have a gift where I can just talk to people and relate to people and build a relationship that way and converse and get to know them and go behind the scenes and just talk to them and find out what makes them tick. So that's what we're going to do today with this young man. But before we find out what makes this man tick, I want to know what makes you tick today, J-Rock. What's going on, sir?
What up, brother? You doing all right, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you rising and winning today, J-Rock?
I'm up. I'm up on a Tuesday. That's a blessing. So that's
on
how
a Tuesday.
I'm winning already. On a Tuesday. No tacos. No tacos on Tuesday. Today.
How's that diet going, man?
It's going good, man. No complaints other than I'm hungry. No, I'm just playing. No, it's been going good, man. I don't feel hungry anymore. I started doing a lot of new stuff, like dig deep into my vitamins and been taking goalies and
saying your prayers, eating your vitamins.
My vitamins, saying my prayers, brother. That's right. Yeah. No, but it's been good. I feel good. I feel really good. And today is the first day that I get to get back into playing basketball. So I took like 3 weeks of like walking, running, getting my body prepared, and I feel like I was back in high school, man. I felt like I needed to drop some weight and get my body prepared, and I'm ready. So hopefully I get some wins today. Talk about a rise today, and now hopefully I get some wins this afternoon.
Well, let me tell you this, J-Rock. You woke up today, so you're already winning. You're on the winning side.
That's right, yes, sir.
Of the fence. And you didn't have tacos, that's another win,
Yes,
I would
it
say.
was.
All right, although food is great, you need to have the right food in your system. And for those of you that are going through struggles with weight or diet, exercise, it's all about discipline and sacrificing the shit that tastes good. All right, we know that carne guisada tastes good. We know that pizza sometimes tastes good and it's satisfying. But guess what? It's bringing you down. It's deteriorating you, not in a sense where you're dying, but it chips away at your wellness.
Heck yeah, man.
All right? Hot dogs, burgers, fries, all these things can deteriorate you one bite at a time. So I love that you recognize that you need some
absolutely.
a health pivot, which is cool. I needed a health pivot. I think we all do. We all need a kick in the ass sometimes.
That's right, man.
And we all need to understand that we need mentorship, and we're going to talk about that throughout the show. Mentorship and somebody who's going to be your wingman and be able to talk to you. But there's no bigger wingman than just your mind. If you have the right mindset and have the mindset that I need to make right decisions and I got to stay away from toxic people, toxic foods, toxic alcohol, these kind of things, those kind of things can jack you up, man. So I appreciate that you're winning. We're going to talk about winning and rising today. So I'm going to continue my story about not only winning, but relationships as well and helping others. There's a lot of organizations out there that we have at our disposal, but we don't really know about them, J-Rock. They're there, but people don't really know they exist. Me as a veteran, I was able to talk to people, talk to mentors while I was in. So I had the mindset that I needed to prepare for my exit from the Air Force. But there's a lot of veterans that are in the Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Space Force. There's going to be a time when your service ends. And we really don't know when that is, but it's going to end at some point. But we need to make sure that we are prepared. And sometimes the military doesn't really prepare us for after your service ends. They prepare you to get in. You have a recruiter, and then you have a supervisor along the way. You have a commander. You have different supervisors that are, all about the mission. And so when you PCS, that means you permanently change your station or your base, and you're going to have a new set of people when wingman that come in and they take you under their wing. But when you're exiting, we don't really have that. We have something called TAPS, which is a transition program. But I truly believe it doesn't really set you up for success. It kind of checks some boxes.
That kind of sounds a little scary, bro. It's like starting a new life.
Yeah. And this is not to dog the military out in any way, but it's a truth, right? But there are advocates of vets. There are advocates of homeless people. There are advocates of people that need to get a fresh start, get a reset. People that come out of prison, they need a fresh start and reset because
pro athletes.
Pro athletes. When you get out of being in the NFL or NBA, how are you going to transition? I see a lot of athletes that get out and they're broke because they didn't have these financial coaches and mentors and things that.
Imagine having that mindset though too, because like as a military, person, you're obviously, some people are trained to kill, right?
Right.
But as an athlete, you're trained to be competitive, and to lose your competitive strive, it'll put you in depression, just like it's like in anybody that's in the military too. So.
Yeah. Because when your time is over, just think about this: the military, in essence, takes your entire adult life, from when you're 18, 19 years old until you're 40, 50. If you get the chance to retire, but if you're even 25, 30, 40, your entire adult life is dedicated to the military or dedicated to the NFL or whatever, prison, all these different things, right? But there has to be something that you're able to grasp, that you're able to help yourself or with resources. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So our guest, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a community leader, he's a golfer. We're going to talk about golf a little bit as well. He's a CEO, he's a business owner. He's had struggle in his life. He's a vet as well. He's a Marine Corps veteran, and I give him shit all the time. About his. I know I heard y'all earlier about his intelligence, but because Marines, typically score lower on the ASVAB test. But it's okay. Hey, he served. And this guy is a badass, all right? I give him shit, but hey, he's still a badass. He served. But he is the founder of an organization or a business called Omega Contractors, which help a lot of people in the sense what I'm talking about here, right? And he is the founder of a nonprofit organization called Omega Cares.
Omega.
All right, so Omega Contractors and Omega Cares. So this man, without further ado, is my friend Larry Hromek. What's up, Larry?
Not much, man. Just glad to be here.
Yeah.
Woke up, drove out.
Yeah.
Did my chiropractor.
Well, I hope you're glad to be here.
Well,
we've been anticipating this for a while.
Yeah, we have. Almost a year.
Yeah. And I kind of scratched the surface a little bit on how we met. Relationships are important, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I had no idea you were a vet. I thought you were Stone Cold Steve Austin when I first met you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? And I was like, hey, that's Stone Cold. I told my daughter, look, that's Stone Cold over there. Let's go talk to him.
And you did.
Yeah.
And you did. Right. Yeah. But it's that 3 or 6 foot rule, right? Most people have, especially business. It's that, I'm going to talk to everyone within 3 or 6 feet.
Right.
If you can touch them, you should be talking to them. Because you never know what you're going to turn over.
But we never talked business.
We didn't. We talked family. We talked military. We talked about everything. Talked about everything but business. I think at the end we kind of touched on. Actually, I didn't even know you were a realtor till I saw you on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's what's cool. We weren't trying to say, hey, I'm this. No. We're just a couple of dudes shooting the shit and having a good time with our families.
Yeah.
And we had hustle. Yeah, we had a few drinks and went to a Spurs game together and went to Vegas together.
Yeah.
And it all started just by saying, hey, what's up, man? How are you? How's the trip so far?
Yeah.
And so I tell people, get out there and meet. Whenever you're at a bar or a restaurant, talk to people. Just, hey, what's up?
Well, airplane, restaurant, hotel. I don't care where you're at, right? You should be, talking to everyone within that 3 to 6 foot bubble. Like I said, because you just never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on an airplane talking to a guy, and he ended up being the head coach of the basketball team for the Oregon Ducks.
Okay.
He became a friend of mine. We text back and forth whenever he's in town, or I get out to Oregon or do something like that. He was always there. You never know who you're going to meet.
Right. And you can change somebody's day just by saying, hello, hey, man, you're doing a great job, Mr. Waiter, Mr. Cashier, or whatever, and it makes people feel good. And I think you do the same thing. You have that gift of gab, and you like to make people feel good. And I've noticed that about you.
Well, it's about, it's
service, man.
Well, when you're young, you think the world is all about you. You think everything is about you. Everyone. I think everyone under the age of 25 is an absolute narcissist. We all think that the world revolves around us, that everything going on in our life is the most important thing, and we forget that there's other people out there going through things or experiencing things that we can't fathom. It's that grace of, hey, what's going on in your life, and what can we do to make it better? Whenever I answer my phone, this is Larry, how can I help you? Because I really want to help.
Yeah.
I just want to find ways that we can bring everyone along with us, and that's kind of how we started, the contracting company, and once we had enough resources, that's when, the nonprofit spooled up, because it wasn't about us anymore. We didn't get here all by ourselves.
You're never there by yourself, man. And I know you have a supportive wife.
Yep.
She's very, very in tune with what you do, and you guys are a team, and you're a package deal.
Well,
and
we're like you. We're together 24/7.
Yeah. My wife and I are always together.
My wife's not only my wife. She's my best friend. We spend we spend a ton of time together.
And she never gets tired of you, Larry?
Oh, all the time. All the time. My kids. I got 5 kids. I mean, the good thing is my kids were all raised by a motivational speaker. They go out and do their thing too.
Right.
But it's that 3 or 6 foot, right?
Yeah.
It's you in the military when we work with teams guys, they kind of the mantra is, when shit gets thick, that's when you get into that 3 foot world. Mm-hmm. You compress down into what is within arm's reach, and that's all you care about.
Right.
When things start, when you start seeing light out of it, that's when you can start extending that outside that 3 foot world. But it becomes very small, and especially when you get in stressful situations.
Yeah, you learn who to trust.
But it's not that you learn who to trust. It's you have to understand when you get in there that sometimes you just got to be in the mindset that no one's coming to save me.
Right.
I got to do this. I've got to dig out of this. I've got to figure out a way to get through this. And that's when I get on my knees and start praying.
Right.
Because I know I can't do it alone.
No. So your God is your number one.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely. He built my company. He built Omega Contractors.
So let's talk about that, because I don't want to steer a thunder, but I know we've chatted before. You built this from the ground up, and you didn't have a lot of money.
Well, we bootstrapped it. I keep telling my wife I want to go back and pull up the bank records as to when we started the company. I think it was about $812 is what we had.
And what was your vision? Like, what did you want?
I didn't have a vision. God just brought it on me. I had an old customer that I'd done work for with one of my old employers who fired me. Got no hate for him, mad love. But
he probably made you better.
Gave me an opportunity, and then we walked through that. And I had a customer that kept calling, and it was just they were relentless. It was, hey, we need you to help. We need you to help. And the fact of it was, I was the only human being in the United States that had ever touched or worked with their equipment. There was no one else here. And this is 2020. You can't get anybody in the country. And this company is based in the Netherlands. They shipped all this equipment in, and it's all sitting in Nampa, Idaho, at Syngenta Seeds, 3rd largest seed manufacturer in the world. And these people are calling me, and they're like, we need help, we need help, we need help. And I'm like, I can't help you. I can't. I got $800 in the bank. What am I going to do? Right? I can't help you. And then finally, their vice president, Peter, of purchasing, calls me and says, hey, basically, I don't care what it costs. I don't care what it takes. You have to do this for us. And he asked me what I needed. And I'm like, well, I need to invoice you weekly. He's like, done. Send me an invoice right now. He sent the PO over. And I'm like, now I'm stuck, right? So I called a couple of guys that had worked for me in the past and told them, hey, I said, I got an opportunity. I've got credit cards. You know, I can pay for your flight. I can pay for your rental car, your food, because I was going to work too. I just can't pay you for a couple of weeks till these checks start clearing.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, let's go. So we packed up, and that was September 2020. And that was my first year in business, September to December, and we did about $600,000 in those 4 months.
When did you get out of the military?
Got out of the military February 92.
Okay. So that was a long time ago.
33 years ago.
So you started the business in 2020.
I started the business originally in 16, and then we kind of paused it. All I was using the company for at that time was I was consulting for General Motors.
Okay.
The old General Motors Arlington plant, I designed about 80% of the equipment in that building. So when things would break, they just happened to make a phone call and called my buddy, and he's like, hey, look in the title block. What are the initials? And he's like, LEH. And he's like, let me get that guy on the phone for you.
Yeah.
So it became kind of a cool thing. We'd do $60,000 a year with it, but it wasn't much. It was just kind of a side hustle. But
So-
we had the shingle, we had the bank accounts, and it was just easy to walk in.
So what exactly does your company do?
Exactly.
Like if you had
We've morphed. So we started as we were doing rigging. We were millwrighting. We're doing millwright and rigging. We're an electrical contractor. We do medium voltage, 1600 volts and down. We do low voltage communications, PLC, robot programming. We integrate
automation
equipment.
electronics, communications,
We do lighting.
mechanics.
We do all of it. Pipe fitting. We're a turnkey contractor.
So you deal a lot with like commercial businesses and startups. And
Industrial.
Industrial.
My customer base right now is Tesla, Bystronic, Caterpillar, Toyota, small companies. I don't know if anybody's heard of them, but
Have you met Elon Musk?
I met Elon.
How was that?
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
I hear he's a pretty down to earth dude.
Well, he doesn't think like we think. He doesn't think so. He's
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
he doesn't think like we think. He doesn't bring all the emotion into everything that everyone brings. He's not emotional. You know, he is able to separate, and I think it's part of his personality, or I don't know, disorder, whatever he's got going on. But he's able to separate all the emotion from everything and just look at everything logically. And the most logical thing he's ever done is he hires really smart people to do really smart things. And he empowers them, and then micromanages them, and then empowers them, and then micromanages them. And it's kind of a vicious circle with him.
Right.
You don't ever want to get too close to him. We described Elon as the sun. You want to be in the orbit, right? You want to be a safe orbit.
But you don't want to touch it. It's too hot.
You want to be Earth, right? You want to be Earth, Neptune, Mars. Don't want to get too close. He'll pull you into his gravity and just burn you up. That's why the presidents don't last very long, maybe 6 months or a year. He just burns them up. He just drives. When we launched Model 3 in California, he slept in the plant every night. We actually blue tarped one of the conference rooms, and he had a pallet on the floor, and he slept in the plant every night for months.
And that's just the
until
way
we
he is.
launched. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
He's a easy guy. He's very simple, but he's uber intelligent.
Yeah. Well, he's very driven. He's very driven. He sees
Relentless.
something. He is. And you know, I embody, you know, some of that. Like we both have the same philosophy of life's a boat. You can't steer it unless it's moving. And there's no wrong direction. Like if you get in the boat and the motor's not running, you're not going anywhere. You can turn that wheel all day long. It's just going to sit there, right? But once you get the motor going and then you turn out, because you started in the wrong direction doesn't mean you're going in the wrong direction. It just means that's where you started and then you course correct it. It's like driving from here to New York. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be detours. There's going to be roads that are closed. There's going to be accidents. There's going to be things that happen along the way that change your path. But it doesn't mean your destination changed.
How do you maneuver? That's pretty much.
You have to be agile in life and business, right? You need to be fluid, and you need not marry your ideas.
Yep.
Once you get married to an idea, you're over.
Right.
Because you can't break that mold.
Right? I love that philosophy, because too many people just stop in their tracks if they come to a challenge or a struggle or a burden.
If you do that in traffic,
and
you'll
they're
die.
done. Right.
But just think of that. If you're pulling through traffic and you're indecision, I tell my kids all the time, indecision kills. If you're pulling through traffic and you're not certain you're going to go through traffic, just stop. Don't go through hesitantly, because you're going to get T-boned. Right? Make a decision and go with it. And be ready to continually change your approach, right? It's an Anthony Robbins thing, right? Try something else. Try something else. People come to me all the time. They're like, Larry, I've tried everything. Well, no, you haven't. Because if you tried everything, you would have figured out how to fix this.
There's always a solution, Larry.
There is. You just have to keep trying different things until you figure it out. And that's why that's so important, right?
Yeah.
It's not over until you quit.
Right.
Right? That's when you lose, when you quit. Don't ever quit. Just keep changing your approach. I did this, it didn't work. Well, then I did this, and it didn't work. And I'll quiz my kids. I'm like, what if you did this and it didn't work? They're like, I'll try something else. What if that didn't work? Try something else. What if that didn't work? Try something else.
And you just keep trying something else.
And you just keep trying. Just keep going down that try something else until that thing works. So,
how many times, Larry, have you seen somebody that doesn't try something else and they quit right there and their life's over?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I meet people all the time that are just stagnant. They're stuck where they are. They lack ambition. They lack drive. And they're just stuck.
And it's so unfortunate, because these people have such potential and they have a positive circle around them, and they just want to stop.
Yep.
Either they're lazy, lethargic, they don't have the right mentorship, the right drive, passion, whatever, all the above. There's 100 things that we can write down that they don't have.
Yeah, the thing that we found the most is we found that people are just ignorant. Ignorance isn't a bad word, right? Ignorant just means you don't know. You don't know any better, right? You're just ignorant to the fact that there are other things out there in other ways. And when you get people, out of the military, they're ignorant to everything that goes on in civilian society, right? It took me 20 years to even understand what these people do or how they do it. But they just don't know how the world works. They don't know where to go, who to talk to, who to call, and then they end up homeless. They end up on the street. They end up without a job. Circumstances rise up, and they end up on the street.
Yep.
Sometimes no fault of their own. They got stuck. They got caught. They didn't know what to do, who to call, how to get there. I mean, when I got out of the Marine Corps in 1992, I'd spent a year at Walter Reed, got medevaced out of Iraq, and spent a year at Walter Reed. And when I got out of the military, they discharged me in Washington, D.C., where 3 months later I ended up being homeless. I was pretty salty with the military and, the Marine Corps, the whole thing. But when I look back, it was as much my fault as theirs. I didn't ask the right questions. Hey, why am I going back to Washington, D.C.? I'm from Detroit. I didn't ask, is there anyone there that I can talk to? Are there any organizations that can help me out? Is there any paperwork I need to fill out? Is there any job transition? Is there anything, right? I didn't ask any questions. I was like, fuck it, I'm out. Boom.
Because in the Marine Corps, you were set up to make decisions and to get out of certain situations, and you thought it was going to easily transition into the civilian sector.
Well, I've done things most people in the world, have never done. I went through Marine Corps boot camp. I mean,
which is tough.
It's the toughest in 16 weeks.
Right.
Right. I got out of
the
there.
Gauntlet and all this.
I went to flight training.
Right.
Swim school. I'm a rescue swimmer. I went to rescue swimmer school.
You were Spec Ops?
I was MARSOC.
Okay.
So we pioneered a lot of the technology that MARSOC currently uses. We had guys in our unit that created lip lights, fingertip lights for NVGs. We mocked up and built the first fast rope rigs, put them in the back of the helicopters and mocked them up and then built them. So we got to do some really cool shit and go some really interesting places.
So you were held to a high standard when you were in the military, but when you got out, you were really humbled because you were like, holy shit, what do I do now? I don't fit in this civilian society.
Well, I still don't fit in. I'm still an outsider in this world, which is why I surround myself with military. Mostly because I don't understand the mindset of a civilian who is so introverted that he's not concerned about the homeless guy in the corner. He's more concerned about his boat or his new jet ski or, hey, I just got a new Jaguar or whatever the Johnsons are getting, right? Keeping up with the neighbors. Mm-hmm. Everybody forgets that, veterans are the reason you have this freedom to live the way you do. And we have homeless veterans on the streets. And most of them that are on the streets are because of PTSD, TBI. They just can't get right. They don't know how to get right. And I very easily could have been one of those people.
Yeah. We see that often. And I let off the show talking about resources. A lot of these vets and just people in general don't know that there's resources out there, or they don't want to ask for help because then they seem weak or seem like they have issues and they don't want to open up or be vulnerable to people, or I don't want people to know my business.
Well, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was also dealing with, we still had a lot of, this is 33 years ago, we still had a lot of Vietnam vets. We still had a lot of Vietnam vets on the streets. Had a lot of Vietnam vets that couldn't get VA benefits. Yep. They're fighting for scraps, right? And then Gulf War,
Agent Orange, and all that
comes. All that comes in, and now we've got PACT Act from the burn pits, right? Mm-hmm. Now they've lumped in all the Agent Orange stuff. I hate to. It sounds wrong to say this, but the Vietnam veterans actually benefited from us going to Iraq and doing what we did because it opened up a lot more awareness. Like nobody knew what PTSD was. It was shell shocked.
It's a new concept. It's like what, 20 years old, 25 years old, maybe?
If that. And then strap that with TBI, traumatic brain injury. Mm-hmm. If you got TBI and PTSD, medication.
Yeah. Well, check out the NFL. CTE just was discovered.
Yeah.
15 years ago? When it's been around for decades.
Yeah. So we're actually partnering with the Spurs. We've met with RC and his chief of staff. They're building a medical research facility behind the Rock, and they're going to be studying TBI, and it's called time crisis. A lot of factory workers, like you have 20 seconds to put a tire on, or you have 45 seconds to install a seat. That clock is always running, and you're always running out of time, and you never have enough time. And they found that that's the exact same thing that professional players go through, basketball players, football players. You have a finite amount of time to do what you're doing, and the clock is always running, and you're always running out of time.
You're always under pressure.
And it's that pressure. So they're going to be studying the manufacturing employees and then working with us with TBI because we have a number of people that have been blown up multiple times.
Same in the military and same in any industry. We're always under pressure to perform. Yeah. And especially as a business owner, people are dependent on you. They trust that you're going to get the job done for them. And they like you. That's why they hired you. So you have this pressure on you. And some can perform, some can't. And so pressure, I think, as leaders in the household and fathers, mothers, there's a lot of pressure on a lot of people. And PTSD just doesn't happen in the military. It happens in all walks of life. So let's get into Omega Cares. This is your nonprofit.
Yep.
All right. And a lot of these resources that I keep alluding to and that we keep talking about, you have them. The transition from veteran or military member into the civilian sector, people that have been blown up, people that have disability and that don't have the resources, don't have the DAV or whatever. You guys help them out.
Yeah. So we're actually, the landscape of what we do is changing quite a bit right now, because we haven't been in an active war since we lost 13 Marines in Afghanistan. We don't have flag draped coffins coming back every day. We don't have the nightly news showing this. So money is getting very scarce out there for nonprofits, especially for military and veteran nonprofits, because nobody sees it anymore. And since that landscape is changing, we don't have veterans coming back blown up. So we don't have that influx of all of these people that are struggling medically. You know, what we're finding now is we're running into people that are, and we've probably got, I think I mapped it out. I think we're 8 or 10 years of dealing with people that have combat experience. After that, we're not going to have any more of that. So the kind of the PTSD component of it is going to lessen. The blown up, burnt and crushed guys are going to cease. So we're not going to be. It's a new landscape.
Right.
So we're changing as an organization. So we've been partnering and finding service providers that do different types of therapy. You had one guy on your podcast, Antonio Santana from Frontline Strong. We've worked with him in the past to get psychiatric care for one of our guys. But Hero Hut, Grunt Style Foundation, Pink Berets. We found this menagerie of all these different nonprofits, and we become a funding arm. Like, we have no programs inside Omega Cares. We are strictly here as an advocate to veterans and to fund their health care. So when we send somebody to equine therapy to go hug a horse and cry, we pay for it. We pin a check to them, we pay for it. We're not burdens on any of the nonprofits that we use. We pay our way, and we help them so that they can continue what they're doing. But I found no reason for us to start taking on all these programs when there's other people out there doing it.
Right.
So we use their programs, we pay for it, and then we just become a funding arm and an advocate.
Yep.
Like right now, our biggest push now is helping veterans get that goal, get that 100%. You know, if they deserve it, we're going to work hard to get it for them.
So what he's talking about, J-Rock and those that are listening, when veterans get out and they're, have something, an ailment or injury or something in the military, and I'm going to put it in layman's terms, you get coded a percentage. Maybe if you have migraine headaches, you might get 20%. Sleep apnea, you might get 50%. And this doesn't always equate to an actual 50% or 20%. 50 plus 20 doesn't mean 70. Mm-mm. It might mean
that's VA math.
40,
Oh,
50.
yeah. You could be 70, 50, 20, 10, 10, 10, and only be 90% disabled, even though it adds up to 150%.
Right.
The VA math is.
Yeah. And I'm not going to get into how they do their math, but everything that you've had either counts or it might even have a 0 on it. Mm-hmm. But my advice to those that are currently serving or those that served already and are out, make sure you get documentation of everything, whether you had sprained ankle, tinnitus, you got ringing in the ears, you have PTSD, you're under stress, because I know everybody in the military is under stress. We talked about that. The pressure is there for you to perform.
I can almost guarantee you that I can write letters for 100% PTSD just out of boot camp. Mm-hmm. Just out of the stress that people endure just through boot camp.
Yep. I was a drill instructor, and I put people under pressure all the time because that was my job. Mm-hmm. I had to put them under extreme pressure because if you're out at war, you think Putin and his cronies aren't going to put you under pressure? They're going to try to kill you. Kim Jong-un and Xi and all these guys, they're programmed to kill Americans. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be under extreme pressure. So I go back to the VA thing. There's a lot of vets that I talk to as a realtor. Some are 60%, 70%, and I ask them. I'm a resource as well to help people. And now that I know Omega Cares does this, because they ask me all the time, do you have any resources? And I send them to certain people, but it might work, it might not. But now that I know that your program exists, I mean, I'm gonna
And we don't
refer
charge. We don't charge. We don't take 50% of their back pay. We don't charge anything for it. It's a service that we provide to veterans. They've earned it. They deserve it.
But what I've seen, Larry, is a lot of vets. No, I didn't go get seen for that. No, I just sucked it up and put some dirt on it. I'm like, dude, but you had a major break in your leg, and no, I'm good. I didn't claim that. Or migraines. I'm like, dude, you have trouble breathing at night. You need to make sure you document that kind of stuff. And it all adds up, and whether it adds up or not, you need to make sure you document it.
I didn't get my rating until 2022. I was out for 30 years before I ever went to the military and said, hey, I got issues. You guys need to help me fix it.
How long was the fight going on to get
Mine went really quick. We're really good at what we do.
Okay.
We're really good at what we do. I was probably 8 months total.
Okay.
From when I filed till when I had my 100%. Maybe 8 months.
I know some veterans, and as well as you do, years, decades.
Well, and a lot of those guys they're not diligent about what they should be doing. They're not sending they're not sending letters. Most of them have no idea what they're doing anyway. They go in and they're like, oh, I have sleep apnea. Well,
Is that what they want you to do though? Like, how come they don't educate you on this when you're in there?
because they don't want to pay for it.
When you come out?
They don't want to pay for it when you get out.
You're a liability.
You're just so I didn't file for my disability until 2022. I got out in 1992. My 100% right now is like $4,200 a month is what I get from the military. If you took that $4,200 a month over 30 years, it's over $1 million they saved by me never saying anything.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that it's their aim, but the VA's knee-jerk reaction to everything you send them is decline, denied. And they hope you go away.
Yeah. And so how does the military accept programs like this? Or do they just like try to push them off? Or
So they're outside. So you got to remember, VA.
It's a third party.
VA and military are two separate entities.
Okay.
They don't talk to each other either. Like I have veterans that have military doctor's appointments because they've had amputations while they were in the military, and they're in the VA system. And the VA system will transport you to and from your doctor's appointments, as long as it's a VA doctor's appointment. If it's a military doctor appointment, they won't do anything for you.
That sounds
They
so
don't
scary.
talk to each other. And his doctors from the military side don't talk to his VA doctors. They're two completely different medical records.
That's scary.
Absolutely insane.
The military would document, and they'll give you prescriptions, surgeries, things like that.
Oh,
but
they'll give you
that's about
drugs
it.
all day long.
But that's about it.
If you want antipsychotics or trazodone or if you want anything like that, they'll prescribe it.
Sounds like the NFL, man.
Right? But if you need some CBD to calm your PTSD, we can't do that.
Oh wow.
Because you
Right?
shouldn't be taking
Right?
CBD.
Like Dan Patrick, our Lieutenant Governor, right? He can eat a dick.
Yeah, he can.
Right? This guy went and said, no, you can't do this. Well, who are you to tell us what we can and can't do?
Yeah.
Right? We have doctors prescribing this, and now you're saying, no, this is poisoning our veterans when it's saving our lives, when it's getting us off the opioids and everything else.
Yep.
I didn't mean to tangent on that, but that fires me,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because
Likewise, man.
That's the
because-
beauty of podcasts, Larry.
because we're trying to get people saved. We're trying to get people healthy.
Yeah.
And they won't let us do it. And they stand in our way, and they do everything they can to make it.
I hate that they're giving a shit about that too, because it's like, dude, I don't even take Tylenol. Like just even in that, right? Like I hate taking any type of painkillers or anything like that too, because I've broken my ankle twice, and I got a little addicted to the painkillers. So it's just like I can't imagine somebody going through PTSD and injuries and you know what I mean. So there's so much pressure. There's so many things that can come with that, and them not wanting to help us. That's scary, man.
Well, and they love to prescribe trazodone. Trazodone is horrible. If you look up trazodone, what it's classified as a narcotic, it turns you into a zombie.
Yep.
Like you don't function well.
I've actually had that before. And I didn't like the way it made me feel. I'm just there like sitting on the couch.
Trazodone. Here we go. John, you want to go ahead and do that?
Trazodone is a prescription antidepressant medication that is also frequently used off-label to treat insomnia due to its sedative effects. It works by affecting the balance of serotonin and other neurotransmitters in the brain. So it affects your brain directly. Mm-hmm. And like Larry said, it does make you feel like a zombie because I've taken it before.
You feel off.
Right.
You never feel.
I'm not myself.
And once they get you into it, you become addicted to it. And now you can't function without it. Now you get angry. Your anxiety peaks up, right?
I took it one time, Larry, and I was like, I'm done here.
Well, I was on court-ordered medication, along with my court-ordered therapy because I lost it at work. Mm-hmm. I snapped.
I can't see that at all, Larry.
I know. I snapped. It's amazing. It's grace of God I'm not in prison today. Being on some of the stuff that I've been on.
But I love that you're passionate about this and you care.
Well, because no one else is going to fix it.
You really give a shit about what is going on with the people you're trying to help. And that is the secret sauce. It's not even secret sauce. That is your sauce. That's your magic potion.
Well, then I'm new to the CBD THC thing. I got to tell you that. I mean, honestly, I'm new to it.
Okay.
I was absolutely diametrically opposed to any marijuana cannabis use whatsoever. I thought that it was that a lot of the things that they had done, that it was just people wanting to go out and get high. Until I realized
you're ignorant.
I was ignorant. I didn't know any better, right? And then somebody's like, "Hey, try one of these gummies," and I was like, "I'm not doing that. That's weed. I'm not doing that." And I was like, well, let me try one. So I tried one, and it calmed everything going on in the back of my mind. I was able to go to a restaurant and sit down and eat and not be
uptight and
waiting for someone to come through the door, waiting for something to happen. I was able to enjoy my time and my family and my life. And it was huge.
Game changer for you.
It was. It really was. And then working with Pink Berets and Grunt Style Foundation, like they are big advocates for CBD, for hemp and all of that. And they've been classified as paid shills. Like they're being paid by cannabis. Nobody's paying me.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for it because I saw the change in me. I saw a change in what it did for me and my family, and the relationship that I was able to have with my kids now.
Right.
Which I horrifically have fucked up my kids because of my PTSD, but luckily we have enough money to pay for therapy.
So you're living personal testimony.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
I've lived all of this. Like I was homeless in Washington D.C. when I got out of the Marine Corps.
How long were you homeless?
About 3 months. About 3 months.
Sleeping in your car or sleeping on the bridge? Like
No, I didn't have a car. I slept outside a couple of times. For the most part, I'm a relatively attractive guy. I was always able to find somewhere to lay my bags.
There you go.
But yeah, no one was going to save me. No one was coming to help me. I had to rely on myself and rely on God, that He had a plan for me.
Was that in your brain that somebody was going to come and save you?
I think that's in everybody's mind, that somebody's going to come.
Okay.
I think everybody who gets in those positions thinks someone's coming to help me. I'm not alone. Obviously, people out there know I'm not doing well. Someone's going to help me. But no one ever does.
Your buddies never reached out, family members, nobody?
Well, no, because that was my fault. I never reached out to anybody and said, by the way, I'm homeless.
Yeah, nobody knew what you were. Yeah,
nobody knew,
yeah.
right? Because you're embarrassed. You don't want to. How many of your friends are you going to call when you lose your business goes under?
Yeah.
2008 shows up again, right?
The housing
market crashes. You're a realtor. You're invested in all of that. Now you lose all that money. You don't have any income.
Yeah.
You lose your house. You're living in your car. Which one of your friends? Who is going to be your first phone call to tell them, oh, hey, yeah, no, I lost everything. I'm homeless. You're not calling anybody, right?
Same thing with why veterans don't reach out
They don't.
to ask for help.
It's too much pride. Too much pride.
Little ego, little chip on the shoulder.
lot of ego.
Little pride, little narcissism. Because we've been in charge for so long, and we're like, no, fuck that. I'm not weak.
We're bulletproof.
Right.
We're bulletproof. Most of us that have been in combat, we're bulletproof. We're immortal. Like, we can't die. Like, we're the Fast Furious 5 or whatever, right? They just keep coming back. No matter how many times they die, they keep coming back.
We're going to go down with the ship, Larry.
We are, that's who we are. And that's what makes us who we are. And that's why as soon as I had enough resources to be able to fund a nonprofit, we opened it. We funded it, and we just started going. We have one fundraiser a year. It's all we do. Golf. It's a golf outing. September 15th.
Let's talk about that. But before we do, the recent floods in Kerrville.
Mm-hmm.
You were a part of that, and
we were a small part. We had,
but you were still a part.
We had a lot of partners up there.
Tell us how
doing stuff.
Tell us how you were able to help others.
Well, they just reached out. So one of the council women were up there, and Pink Berets were there, Grunt Style, Hero Hut, Irreverent Warriors, and I've been very very vocal and very clear about. I've pulled enough bodies out of water and structures that it's not something I'm going to go do again. But one of them, Janae Sergio, she calls me and she says, "Hey," she says, "we need some help." She says, "Do you know anybody that can help us get some gas cards?" I was like, "Don't know. What do you need?" She's like, we could use some gas cards for the volunteers going back and forth from San Antonio. And I said, "How many do you need?" And she says, 100. And I said, "Okay." So we went and got 100 gift cards. We actually got 104 because we like that extra credit.
Yeah.
Got 104 $50 gift cards and delivered them to the volunteers.
No questions asked. You just made it happen.
Yeah. But that's what we do. We work around the edges. We got a phone call from another nonprofit. They weren't able to help this woman because they would only, I think they said they would only green light a window air conditioner. 79-year-old wife of a veteran. He's dead. She's funding for herself. And they called us and said, "Hey, we need some money for equipment." The contractor donated all the labor. They said, "We just can't pay for the equipment." Send me an invoice, we'll pay it. We put tires on cars. We've paid electric bills. We had a veteran that couldn't get back and forth to appointments. We couldn't figure out a way to do it, so we opened a Uber Health account so that we could set up the rides. It would go pick him up, drop him off at the doctor's appointment.
That's awesome.
Did you know that existed, J-Rock?
I had no idea.
And a lot of people don't know. So Uber Health.
Yeah.
So that takes...
But it has to be set up by a company.
Okay.
And run and administered by a company, which is what we did and what we do.
Right,
So,
like it's called Uber Health?
It's called Uber
It's
Health.
a legit thing?
Yeah, it's Uber.
Oh, I thought like the company just made
Nope.
it for themselves.
Nope, it's Uber. And Uber has an Uber Health division that they do this with.
For veterans that need to go to appointments.
It's for anyone.
health.
They set it up for anyone, but we do
anyone.
it. We do it just for veterans.
Because you're veteran-centric.
We are veteran centric. We only work with veterans. It's not that I don't care about anyone else. They're my closest ally to what I think we need to be fixing.
And Larry, there's probably hundreds of other things that you guys have done to help people in the community and get back on their feet and get to appointments and get their AC working and gas cards, gift cards. I mean, you name it. You've done a lot of things. And these other nonprofits, I'm thankful for teaming up with them and having them, Antonio Santana, tell her story, and Joey Hummel. Remember Joey Hummel we had on? Mm-hmm. They go out fishing. Mm-hmm. Real warriors. That's what they are. So big shout out to Joey Hummel and his team. Those veterans are ecstatic because they're able to go out and fish, pretty much and build camaraderie, and they laugh and bullshit and cry. And
Cody Johnson and Matt Hughes with Texas Veteran Hunts.
what do they do?
They sponsor veteran hunts on their ranch.
Just hunt. That's freaking awesome.
They take them out. If they're blind, they've got aided scopes. They had a blind guy got to shoot a buffalo.
Wow.
He had the scope on his phone, and he's telling them, right. You talked him through it, and he pulled the trigger and downed it.
Wow.
Got another guy's Hometown Heroes Outdoors up in New Hampshire. We work with those guys. 23rd Veteran out of Minnesota. I mean, there's just a huge network of nonprofits that are willing to work together,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's
awesome,
what we
man.
really needed.
Yeah.
You know, when I entered the space, I was just shocked at the mindset of these are my veterans, this is my money. We can't help anyone outside of what we have. And I'm like, well, can we help you? And they're like, no, you'll take our money. It just became really weird.
Right.
Because originally we were going to start funding nonprofits. We were going to start taking on nonprofits and bringing them under our umbrella so that they didn't have to worry about insurance or taxes or any of that stuff. Until I started seeing their financials, and I'm looking at their overhead, and I'm like, really? You guys bring in $150,000 a year in donations, and you're paying yourself $60,000 of that? Don't get it. I don't take any money out of Omega Cares. It goes to help veterans.
That's a good point as well, because there's this stigma or this people are thinking I'm not going to give to this Red Cross. I mean, I just made up Red Cross or whatever because they don't know where the money's going to, and people are reluctant sometimes to donate or sponsor or do things like that because they don't know where the money's going. Because it's supposed to be a nonprofit, but then they see sometimes people rolling around in a Rolls Royce, and I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean.
I drive a truck.
Same with churches and thing like that. Not churches chicken, J-Rock. Actual
What the hell?
churches.
What the hell?
Right.
Nothing like getting called out on.
Right.
There will be no fried chicken in your future.
Hey, I love churches chicken, by the way. But yeah, there's this stigma that I don't know where the money's going to, so people are hesitant and reluctant. But I like
all
to know that.
nonprofits have to public. We have to put our
You have to show where the money is
Well, we
going,
have to put our
right? You have
financials
to.
on our website. They're on our website.
Yeah. And
to show
sometimes you got to keep
exactly
the
where
lights
the
on.
money
I get
goes.
it. You got to keep the lights on.
My for-profit Omega Contractors pays the way for CARES.
Okay.
So CARES doesn't pay overhead.
Okay.
CARES is just a funding arm. Contractors, we put money in. We take a lot of small private donations, but that's how we function. I mean,
Very
we're
awesome.
not. I've looked at a lot of nonprofits. Probably the coolest one that I've seen that really does what they say they do is Tunnel to Towers. I have no connection with those guys. We've never worked with them. But we were looking to do something with them, so we did some research. 93% of every dollar, 93 cents of every dollar they bring in goes back out to help first responders and veterans. Seven cents of every dollar goes to their overhead. Their leadership team are all unpaid. The guy you see on TV, unpaid. Doesn't take a dollar. Wow. Like I said, we don't do anything with them, but they're solid.
Yeah, they're a big organization, and they were started, J-Rock, during 9/11. I think the brother was one of the firefighters, or he perished in one of the towers, and that's how they started Tunnel to Towers.
Yeah. They provide a lot of houses. They pay mortgages. For veterans, not just first responders, but they do a lot of veteran work too.
That's awesome.
But like I said, we don't do anything with them. There's a bunch of other ones out there that I could really talk bad about, but I won't.
That's scary how much we have to help each other out when when our money is going to other countries. I hate seeing that. And then we're over here. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing that all these nonprofits are being created and they're helping these people. But it's also scary that they're not also we're not helping our own people.
Well, and we've got to fight. So nonprofits have to fight against NGOs, non-government organizations. So NGOs are heavily funded by different businesses. and
boosters and lobbyists and all
then
kinds
they
of stuff.
go and they have lobbyists. Then they go up on Capitol Hill and they lobby and they get that money for the NGO. And the biggest one that we had to deal with was the illegal immigrant flood, rush, and all these NGOs that were getting paid to bring them into the country. While we've got veterans sitting on the curbside homeless.
Talking about Abrego Garcia.
Not just him. There's a bunch of them.
Right.
There's, 12.5 million
Oh, yeah.
of them floating around?
Wait, sorry. So explain this a little bit more to me. What do you mean by that? What do you mean they're going to grab immigrants, bring them back here, which is why we're having this issue, I guess, in a way too?
No, so we're funding NGOs, non-government organizations that actually helped immigrants, illegal immigrants, get through Mexico to the border. They actually prepped them as to what to say when they got to the border.
Oh my gosh!
And then once they got here, they got funneled through buses and trains and cars and planes and everything else to different cities, and these NGOs dropped them all over the country.
Because it's all a process, J-Rock.
They make money doing it.
You have to be able to say that you are being persecuted or you're unsafe in Venezuela, Brazil, wherever you're coming in
So
from.
they can bring you in, right?
So that they can have an asylum claim, so they can get a court date, and then they can sit here. Because before we had remained in Mexico.
Yep. And a lot of this stuff is bogus because a lot of these guys are, I'm going to say it here on my podcast, a lot of them are bad people.
Yeah. And then the optics were horrible. They're putting up all these homeless people in hotels in New York, and we've got homeless veterans in New York. We've got homeless veterans in Texas.
Help these guys out. Yeah.
Right? Why aren't we spending the money on our guys? Why aren't we taking care of our own? Right? It's an agenda bigger. So we're just trying to figure out where our place is in that and how we can help.
Yep.
This is Larry. How can I help you?
Yep. And people are, they're very empathetic to a lot of these situations that, people crossing the border, but you got to be empathetic to what's happening, the second and third order effects of how this affects veterans and American families and our programs and, the welfare system and prison system. And there are just so many things that it affects.
Oh, yeah.
By being empathetic and being, diverse. Because, sure, we all want to be diverse, but at what cost? So
And no one talks to anyone, right? I mean, you've got the government systems and all of these that don't speak to other entities. Like we're working with this is going to blow your mind. We're working with an Army veteran who got deported.
What?
Got deported.
Are you serious?
Yep. He and his mom came here when he was young. He went in the military to gain his citizenship, which you can do. Did his military service, got involved with this batshit crazy woman. She started filing cases on him.
Yeah.
He got arrested, had a felony, and they were like, "Oh, you're a felon." He went in for his immigration appointment. They rolled him up and dropped him off in Mexico. He's never lived in Mexico a day in his life. Didn't even speak Spanish.
he never got his citizenship.
Nope.
But when you're in the military, doesn't that not happen?
It's not automatic.
What the heck? That's so scary.
You're like on a visa.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
So a visa is when you're here temporarily.
Yeah, that's what all these.
And we're trying
that's what all
like a
these
work visa.
musicians, athletes.
And he's a disabled veteran. He's disabled veteran. He actually gets VA benefits.
Did he continue to get his
He
benefits?
does. Yeah, he does. Still gets
when
his
he got,
VA benefits while he's been deported to Mexico. Yeah.
How
But
long-
if you're a felon, Larry,
2012.
don't those stop?
So my buddy that was in prison, he was 20% disabled, and they only gave him 10% while he was in prison. So they diminish it, but it doesn't stop.
Dang, man, what the heck?
I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but we're working with him. We're working with him, trying to get him back in the country, trying to find some advocate to help us.
So-
In the climate we're in right now,
That's going to be a tough one because
It's very tough. It's very tough.
It's I wouldn't say glamorized. That's the wrong word, but it's highlighted
Oh, it is.
by the big guys.
It is. It is.
It's not some local stuff.
So
No.
do you know where they drop these people off? They're not like going across the border and be like, all right, this is the line. Like,
I think that's all they do. think they just take a bus and open the door.
Well, weren't they going to send Abrego Garcia over to Uganda?
Oh, he's going to Uganda because no one else wants him.
Yeah. Did you hear about that, J-Rock?
No.
So this guy, Abrego Garcia, that some politicians.
The Maryland dad.
The Maryland dad, you know, he has a criminal record of
Abrego?
Abrego, Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Let me know if I'm spelling this right.
Brego.
Okay, here he is. Is this him?
Yep, Kilmar.
That's him.
So this guy, he's the Maryland dad, and I'll call him that. That's what he's been called by the media. He has a history of beating his wife, history of human trafficking.
Well, they found him in a van with 20 illegals.
Yes. And so certain politicians are trying to throw that under the carpet or, you know, sweep it under the carpet. But now he was deported back to Venezuela.
He's back in the United States right now.
He's back to get his
He did his court dates.
But what do they call it? Due process, right? So they said, okay, here's your due process. Now you're going to Uganda because now your home of record doesn't want you. Mm-hmm. So now he's going to go to Africa, and maybe they want you.
So they're just sending this guy wherever they can take him.
Because he doesn't belong in the United States. He has a history of beating his wife, so domestic violence.
MS-13.
And gang. He's a gang affiliated. And he's not, you know, he's not Bloods and Crips. This is like big time MS-13.
Damn.
Might as well be the cartels, right? And
so what? I mean, he didn't do that bad of a crime to have to kill him, I guess, in a way, too, right? Like, what the hell did he do with this situation?
so they're sending him to Africa, and maybe he can survive out there.
Start
over, reset.
So, you know, if we spend as much time, in this country with our politicians, worrying about how we transition veterans from military to civilian life as we do about how to bring people across the border illegally, I think we would be doing a much better job.
Mm-hmm. So we can say this: there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in the process.
Yeah, and like I said, we have a lot of partners in the nonprofit world that are spending time on Capitol Hill to write and to affect change. Mm-hmm. I'm not that guy. I mean, I begrudgingly will do, you know, these podcasts and interviews and stuff. Mm-hmm. This isn't where I feel real comfortable. But
you look real comfortable.
But I'll do it to bring, you know, to bring some light to what's going on. Like for the first 2 years. Well, the first 2 years of our nonprofit, we didn't tell anybody what we did because I thought it was bragging. Because that's just what I was always taught. You just don't tell people what you do. But if I don't tell people what we do, I can't tell the people how to fund us.
Larry, that's what I say all the time. It's called marketing. You have to let people be aware of what you do. You have to be, it's not bragging. You're telling people, I'm here to help you. We're one of the best in the business at this. We are great at this. Nobody else does this. And when you say those things, people look like, this guy's full of himself. He's bragging. No. And I have confidence to say I'm one of the best in the business at this. I'm one of the best in the business at this. J-Rock's one of the best in this. And I have full confidence because we have proven results. But it's not bragging, but people can look at it that way. When you listen to rap music, these guys are bragging the whole time on these rap lyrics, right? But they're like, yeah. No, you're just letting people be aware of your, not really your status, but of your organization and what they can do as a resource. And I love that. So you've gotten over that hurdle where I'm not bragging. I love that, Larry, because too many people are hesitant to be able to highlight themselves.
Yeah,
and I think it's becoming more normal nowadays where people are highlighting themselves because you know what? Nobody else is going to freaking highlight you.
Yeah. No, we get some shout outs from people and you know, because of my for-profit company, it affords me a little more latitude than some of the other people do. Like I can say things that I don't have to worry about getting my funding shut off.
Right.
You know, like I can tell Dan Patrick to eat a dick, right? Yeah. Don't care.
Yeah.
Right? he's part of the problem, not part of the solution, right? I mean, let's get on board and let's do what we need to do to get this fixed.
Yeah.
So I have no problems telling people, what we do and how we do it and why we do what we do. We do what we do because people need to know. People need to know that there's help. People need to know that there's advocates for you. People need to know that there are services and resources available to you. Whatever you're going through, we have someone in one of our organizations that has gone through what you're going through and can come alongside and mentor you or big brother you.
Yeah.
Right. It's huge. In my for-profit company, once we crossed, which took 2 years, once we crossed 7 million in revenue, I was so far over my skis. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. When you're doing $5 to $7 million a year, you can't talk to your normal friends because they don't understand. Mm-hmm. When you're spending $200,000 a week on payroll, it's hard to talk to your friend that's making $60,000 a year and saying, "Hey, what do you think we should do?" Mm-hmm. Nothing against my old friends, they just didn't understand where we were.
Right. Yeah, that's a tough scenario sometimes. And then you're on an island.
I was on an island. I was in a vacuum. So every decision I was making was in a vacuum, and I was hoping that I was making the right decisions. Right. In the process, we lost $500,000 on one job. It didn't hurt us. Luckily, we had so much cash flow, it didn't even matter. But it took a bit, right? And you talk about mentors, right? That's when I became part of a peer network, peer group, and I'm a building chair in that same peer group because it works.
Yep.
It took my company from $800 4 years later to $32 million.
Yep. And your connections are a little different now. You got CEOs, you got industrial champions, and you got all these people. So connections are important. And I love the fact that you're connecting with all these nonprofits across the country and beyond, across the globe, that are able to connect and help people out. And that's why, Larry, you're rising and you're helping people win. That's why you're on the Rise and Win show, my man. That's what we talk about. And you're on another scale because you're on a global scale. But still, whether you're the guy mowing the lawns or whether you're the CEO of Tesla, you're rising and you're winning. And I love that you're able to help people. And you're going to be able to help people on September 15th as well, not only with golf, but with other things. Because the money, and we're going to talk about this, the money that's collected is going to help people, help these veterans that you're speaking of. So tell us about September 15th. So
September 15th is Omega Classic 2025. It's our third golf outing. It's the one fundraiser we do a year. Looking to build out 144 golfers. I think we're a quarter of the way there. We're 2 weeks out. Still got I think we have 4 sponsorships available yet. But we've got some guest speakers coming in. We'll have a lot of veterans out on the golf course, not only golfing, but serving, lunch, drinks. Obviously, there's going to be drinks. Going to be a lot of off-color humor because there's going to be a whole lot of veterans out there. So, you're going to see a guy out there with one leg being hazed because he can't hit the ball far enough.
Or because he was in the Marines or the Army.
Well, everybody tried, Navy, Air Force, Army, whatever brand, whatever brand you want to believe, I'm okay with that, but, we have an abundance of Air Force veterans, because you just can't shake a stick or swing a dead cat without finding one of those guys.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
They're everywhere. But we've got a lot of volunteers. We need more sponsors. We need more golfers, so that we can reach deeper into the community. We have aspirations of partnering with some bigger foundations. I've got one I can't really talk about, but we've spitballed doing a cross-branded clothing line with them. And we would get part of the proceeds of that too. We're just trying to find new and different ways to fund what we want to do, without getting too big so that we become unagile at that point, to where we have this, enormous, cumbersome board where we say, hey, we need to buy an HVAC, system for this woman. And they're like, well, shows here where we can only afford this, right? I don't want to ever be in that position when somebody calls for me to say, no, I can't help you.
Right.
All we want to do is be able to say yes. And it's on our website. If you look at our website, our tagline is getting to yes for every veteran.
What is your website?
It's www.omega-cares.org. You can actually do any of the extensions at the end of them. They all point to ORG.
Okay.
We bought all of them.
So with this golf tournament on September 15th, tee time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Get there at 8 so that you can get your swag. We've got some swag bags for everybody that they can take with them. Get registered, get breakfast, grab some coffee. Summer Moon is bringing in coffee for us.
How many teams can sign up?
144 golfers, 36 teams.
36 teams, and you're needing about what, 20?
I'm needing probably 36 or 20, probably 20 teams.
Okay. So I'm going to make sure I reach out to my veterans as well. I've reached out to some, and I think we got a couple.
There's a pretty healthy discount for veteran golfers. It's 50% of what the general public pays.
Okay.
We've got some availability for people to sponsor Gold Star families to come out and golf, to sponsor veterans to come out and golf. Because like I said, we're going to have some guest speakers out there. We're going to have some people that are going to talk about, what their nonprofits do and how they mesh in with us. That's kind of the big thing. Awareness, right? I mean, that's why we're doing this. That's why I'm here doing this, is so that people know that there are resources out there to help you rise and win.
Rise and win.
Right? Because I can't get you out of bed. I can't make you win. Right? I can give you tools. I can give you resources to help you do that. We can help get you off the psychotic meds. There's a lot of things we can do, but I can't force you to win, right? But once we get you right with where you need to be, and we get you the resources, get you off the streets, we get you into stable housing. We have another ACOG. We have another nonprofit that houses hundreds, if not thousands, of veterans every night. We just keep finding new outreaches, and every time we find one, we want to get more involved, and we want to fund more. And we can only fund so much through Omega Contractors without them turning us into a foundation,
Right.
which I don't want to be. I want to stay a 501.
What's the location of this golf tournament?
It's Fairoaks Ranch Golf and Country Club. That's in Fairoaks Ranch, Texas.
Pretty nice place. Kind of by Bernie, off of I-10.
It is right off I-10. It's a private golf course. This is sometimes the only way that people can ever get out and golf that course. If you're not a member, you can't golf there. If you're not a guest, you can't golf there. There are no tee times for sale.
Oh wow!
It's exclusive.
It's really unique.
Beautiful course. Beautiful course. We have water rights that we signed with Canyon Lake that keeps our course green when TPC is brown.
So I'm sure you guys, since it's an exclusive and private course, I'm sure you got some of San Antonio's finest out there. I'm sure the Spurs have been golfing out there, and George Strait, and some of these big guys.
Well, actually, Mitch is a member.
Okay, Mitch Johnson.
Coach, Mitch Johnson, he's a member. I haven't gotten a definite. We're working on availability for Spurs to come out. Keldon, some of those guys, they tend to show up occasionally.
Keldon's all over the place.
Keldon's everywhere.
Yep.
Keldon loves people.
Yep. He's a great community guy.
He is.
One of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is. He's phenomenal. We love Keldon.
Mm-hmm. How are the Spurs going to do this year?
I'm optimistic. After watching Summer League, Carter Bryant, real deal.
Mm-hmm.
This kid
That guy can ball, man.
This kid can ball. He can. Mm-hmm. He's out there blocking shots. I watched him run from the paint all the way out to the corner to block a 3-point shot and block it.
94 feet, baby.
Just insane. Dylan, he's everything that his scouting report says. He can handle the ball. He just can't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll get there. He'll get there. And then we got Wimby. We got the rest of the team going. Darren. Got Fox.
Yeah, Fox is amazing.
You know, we got
just re-signed him, right?
Yeah, we got a solid team this year. I was actually talking to my Spurs contact on the way here. You know, just trying to get a vibe for what's going on.
Right.
That's awesome, man.
So, Larry, what's their record? What's going to be the record this year? Playoffs?
I want to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I want to make the playoffs as a low seed so that we can show
46 wins, 8th seed.
I don't know. I'm thinking we might pull 50, 52 out this year.
Okay.
Be great to get back to 50.
Yeah.
We used to win 50 all the time. That was our thing.
I think we were spoiled for so damn long.
Yeah.
And now we're, got a little humble.
Yeah.
And
we have a great venue too. I mean, Frost Center you've been.
Yeah.
I mean, venue is incredible. Can't wait to see what they're going to do with the new one.
We just had Spurs big homie. Have you seen the young man with he wears the mask, the Lucha Libre mask? He's a super fan. I'm sure you've seen Spurs Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
We've had Spurs Jesus on the show. And we've had Spurs big homie. So those guys are two of the biggest Spurs fans. And now we have you. You're a huge Spurs fan as well.
I'm a Detroit Piston fan.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you support the Spurs.
I do. I support the Spurs. We're actually we're a Spurs partner and supporter.
Yeah, I'd say you're a pretty big Spurs fan. Although the Pistons suck.
They do.
But that's your favorite team. But the Spurs.
That's where I'm from. I'm from Detroit, right? I'm a Lions fan, right? You have no idea of what it takes to be a Lions fan, right? It's almost as bad as being
you're gonna probably win a Super Bowl before any of us Dallas Cowboys
but it's
fans.
probably it's almost as bad as being a Dallas Cowboys fan.
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah, being delusional.
I mean, you have to be delusional.
You don't have
every
Jerry
year.
Jones. You don't have Jerry Jones.
Well, at least the good thing is at least we have a logo. I mean, you guys just have a rating, a 1-star rating.
Yeah, 1 star.
Man, I never heard that one. That was a good one. That was a good one.
So before we wrap up,
Hold on, I gotta ask some stuff about this golf.
go ahead.
Let me dig on this golf thing.
All right.
So, what if you're a regular jabroni like me and want to play golf? What would you say you can get? You can get a team in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, no one's out here to shoot shoot incredible records, right?
Shooter McGavin.
Right?
Yeah,
we're coming out. We're coming out here to show our veterans that we care about them.
Awesome.
We want to show up and show out, right?
Okay.
That's what we want to do. We want to let our veterans know that they haven't been forgotten, right? That we're here to support them, and we're out to have a lot of fun, which is why I'm not allowed to have a microphone. Don't let anyone hand me a microphone. We did our after action. We did our AAR after the first one, and the number one action item out of the first and second year was Larry drink less.
Tell Larry shut the hell up.
Larry drink less. That's what it was.
What time do you start drinking?
8 a.m.
Yeah, I was about to say if you're starting to go, yeah, bro. If you play golf,
8 a.m.?
You're probably drinking a drink before you even leave the house.
Yeah,
Just
you
drink
gotta
all
get
day.
primed,
Yeah,
right?
you should start early in the
Get
morning,
going,
man.
But I mean, we're gonna have a margarita machine out on the golf course. We're working with a wine company to put them out on the golf course.
Nice.
We're gonna have golf. We're gonna have 2 cart girls driving around with liquor and beer.
Nice.
You're gonna have tickets, and then we have golf cart sponsors. So when we run out of tickets, they're just gonna start writing numbers down, and then we're gonna pull out of that. We've got a full bar set up at one of the putting greens, so you can stop there and get a drink. We got a full bar inside. We got a bar. There's kind of a theme we're getting here, right? Veterans like to drink, right? So that's what we're going to do.
So
we're going to go out.
should
We're going
be
to have a
fun.
lot of fun. We're going to keep most of our clothes on, right? And no one is going to hand Larry a microphone.
It's gonna be like the Happy Gilmore movie, the
It
first
is.
one, right?
It is. I mean, that's what it is, right? No one's out there critiquing. Actually, I've got one guy that's putting together 2 teams, and we're going to put them together. He's got one foursome of actual golfers. And he's got one foursome of hecklers.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
And all they're going to do is follow around the golfers and heckle them the whole time, right? So you don't even have to be a golfer.
Yeah.
If you can talk shit, you're in.
There you go.
That's me.
Johnny. You're in. You're in, Johnny.
So I'm just going to drive the golf cart.
Yeah. Drive a golf cart and talk shit.
Yeah. Can I drink and drive?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that no one has ever gotten a DUI on a golf cart in Fairoaks Ranch.
Because it's a motorized cart.
It is. but you're on a golf course. You're on private property.
All right. See that?
There you go.
Cops shouldn't be pulling me over.
If they do, we'll have a bunch of them out there. So we'll have Fairoaks Ranch Police out just for a show, so they can kind of be part of it. We're working with the mayor, working with councilman, with Tony Gonzalez's people. He won't be able to make it, but Bridget, his right hand, will probably be there.
Very cool.
But yeah, we're just reaching out in the community as far as we can.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a blast. The biggest thing that we wrote a check for last year that came out of the golf tournament was the Thanksgiving dinner, downtown San Antonio. Jimenez. They've done it for 45 years.
Yep.
We were going to do something really cool, and then they showed up in my feed, and I was like, well, why are we reinventing the wheel?
Mm-hmm.
You know, these people are serving, you know, they said that we fed like 1,000 people. So I'm like 1,000, 5,000 people. We wrote them a big check. We were the third largest donor.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Behind HEB and
behind HEB and Walmart.
Yep.
We were the third largest donor.
Heck yeah, man.
That's a pretty good company to be third behind those two.
Well,
guys.
yeah.
You guys are giants.
Yeah, those are some big companies right there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, we'd like to be number one in all of these, but you know, we need funding.
Yeah.
That's
We need
awesome,
funding.
man.
You know, I need everybody to show up. I need checkbooks open. We're going to have silent auction. We're going to have some stuff there. So if you show up without your wife or, you know, your boyfriend, whichever, you know, happens to be, you can buy him something and bring it back.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Larry.
This is the age of don't ask, don't tell. So
Yeah,
we're okay.
I hear you.
Man,
There's
I'm
no
proud of
Church's
you.
Fried Chicken in your future. So
I'm proud of you, Mr. Larry.
thank you, sir.
I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad I met you, and I'm glad I talked to you out on that cruise.
Oh,
What did you think of Johnny when you first met him?
Asshole.
no, because we first started talking, and then the military thing came up, right? And
there
then I
you
found out
go.
he was Air
Yeah.
Force, and I'm like, now I can look down on somebody,
Yeah.
right? Not only because I'm taller than him, but because he's Air Force, right?
Most people are taller than me.
Well, everyone's taller than me, even your wife.
When she has heels, she is.
So no, I got to meet him. I got to meet you, your wife, and your kids, and you know, I mean, it was really cool because it's hard to find people that are partners like my wife and I. Like my wife and I, we're together 24/7. She's my CFO. She handles all the money. You know, we're always together. We office together. We, you know, when we go to the plant, we go to the plant together. We obviously wake up, sleep together.
Yeah.
We go to the grocery
Always
store
together.
together. I mean, we're together all the time.
Every day's date night.
That's
Right?
Go out to
yeah,
dinner.
so I get it. So that's the way that's
But
definitely
then
Johnny's
we
like
ran
it.
into them, and then their kids are part of the tribe.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like, you know, here's Johnny and Jess and then the kids. Right. It was just one big thing, and it's kind of like how our family was built. So it was really cool to meet you and do that, and then, you know, for you guys to, you know, jump in. One of our friends, we relocated my director of programs from Michigan to Texas, and they needed a house. And I called Johnny, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to give you the scoop on what's going on here, but I need you to help them out, right? I know there's no money in this for you, but I need you to help them out. And he did. He went above and beyond and, you know, nailed down, you know, what they needed, helped them find what they needed, helped them find financing.
Yep. They live in New Braunfels now.
Yeah, they live in
Nice.
New Braunfels now,
Really?
right? And that's because of you.
We're going to have breakfast with them on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
You know, but that's because of you and your wife and
But the connection that you and I made, we were able to connect with them.
yep,
And that's how life should be.
it is. That's why you live in that 3 to 6 foot. If they're within 3 to 6 feet, you should be talking to them because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. You may be able to do something for them. You may be able to help them out, right? And that's why I answer my phone. This is Larry. Can I help you?
Yep. And you also, when
I
you
love
say bye, you also say I love you.
I do.
That's true. I love you.
I do.
Yeah, you don't say that, Johnny.
No, I don't.
Johnny does.
But
I
Larry
tell.
does.
I'm the same way with Johnny. Johnny never says it. So
No.
we're gonna have to keep his ass on it.
Yeah. No, I do. It's whenever I get off the phone.
I tell him no homo.
No homo.
You know, with everyone that even the people that work with us, you know, all of our employees.
Yeah.
You know, it's not uncommon for me to get off the phone with one of
That's
my
good for
with
you
one
to
of our
say that,
employees and be like, hey, you know, all right, we'll talk to you later. All right, love you, bye.
It's a term of endearment. It doesn't it's not a bad thing or a weird thing. It's not weird. Like my kids would say, that's cringe or Rizzler, or I don't know what they would say, diddler.
No, I tell everybody the same thing too, man.
But yeah, it's a term of endearment. It makes people feel good.
I think.
Well, but I do. I mean, when we have, once we have that relationship, you're part of our tribe.
Right.
You're part of our family. Right?
Yeah.
And I do. I love you. I love your wife, and I love your kids. Right? I'd walk through fire and kill people for your family. Right? And I'd expect you to do the exact same thing for mine.
Yeah.
So
That's what we do.
So yeah. So I do.
So
love
we got a strong connection there, Larry.
Yeah.
And now you
Now
got
you got to meet this guy in Vegas.
You got to meet him in Vegas.
Yeah.
He was on his best behavior that night, I think.
I'm always on my best behavior.
He was pretty well behaved.
He didn't get arrested, so it was good. It was
those Vegas gummies. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Hey, you said it, I didn't. I was gonna just say you're feeling good. You're just feeling good. That's all I was gonna say.
I got no problem. Hey, while in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's legal in Vegas.
It's legal in Vegas.
Oh yeah, man. I got no shame in my game over here with that.
No. We went to Vegas. We load up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not shy about it, right? Texas would get their shit together and legalize, and legalize some of that stuff here.
That's right, man.
I think we'd be better for it. I think we need to figure out maybe a little better regulation on some of it. Not that I like regulation or government, but I don't think 18-year-old kids should be able to go buy a whole bunch of gummies, down them, and go
definitely not.
drive and do stupid shit.
What I hear is Greg Abbott's trying to regulate, and Dan Patrick's trying to get rid of.
He just wants to say no. He just wants to say no. There's a
Come on,
video.
have
There's a
damn
video.
control,
There's a
man.
video circulating of him packing all these gummies into a box, and saying this is the poison that's poisoning our veterans. Right.
So those two are at odds.
They are at odds.
And that's a pretty sensitive subject because it impacts people's lives.
Oh, it does. We become felons. We become criminals because
Yeah.
we're trying to regulate our mental well-being.
Just like you just said right now. I said, yeah, I had some gummies. You're like, well, you said we shouldn't have to be that way.
We shouldn't.
Man. We shouldn't have to be that way at all. Like it's.
I said that before I got here.
Yeah.
I should have dropped a couple of gummies. I'd have probably chilled out a little more.
Exactly, right? Dude, my anxiety is up the roof past 5 years, and if I don't have my shit, man, it'll freak me out. And I don't even drink that much anymore, and I'm enjoying that. I pick and choose my days to drink now, which I love, and I don't need that as much. But the other part, yeah, I mean the gummies, whether it's CBD, like man, it's my anxiety's down.
But one of my friends, his wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's nauseous. And they're giving her all these anti-nausea meds, and I'm like, the best thing for you is THC. It'll bring back your want to eat, and it'll curb your nausea. But we live in Texas, and you can't get it. Mm-hmm. So I've got to bring it to her.
Yeah, there's so many kids. The other day I was watching a story, and this happens a lot to a lot of kids, but they're having seizures, and they're giving them these horrible medicines that are probably doing worse to their body and making it worse. But this family was taking CBD drops to the mouth, and the kid hadn't had a seizure in days. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man, I might be wrong on this, but I think one of the parents got in trouble for it. And now they're like, we're moving to Colorado. Like, we're getting the hell out of here. Like, hell yeah, we're going to move and not make sure my kid doesn't have 30 seizures a day.
We're going to save his life.
With these drops, we're going to exactly save his life. It's scary, man.
Yeah, there's definite medicinal properties to all of these things, but it's just like everything else, right? It's in moderation, and it's using it for the correct purpose, right? It's not like crawling into a bottle because your life isn't going well, right? I'm going to go drink. Like, thank God that was never me. I never did that. I've drank. Still drink, but I'm not dependent on it. Mm-hmm. And when I get stressed out, I don't run to drugs or alcohol.
Yeah. Well, guess what, man? McDonald's kills so many Americans, and they eat it every fucking day. But it's not okay. It's okay.
Heart disease.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Clogged arteries.
Exactly. So it's your own addiction. What do you addicted to, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like again, there's so many other things. You can being a truck driver. Guess what? You're driving all day long. You are killing yourself by not moving and letting your blood flow.
Yep.
Larry, what's the silent killer?
Heart attack.
Heart attack or high cholesterol?
Yep.
High
Luckily,
blood pressure?
I don't have any of those. I
high blood
had
pressure.
high blood pressure from COVID. So
really?
at one point, at one point, so I went from 265. I was 265 pounds. I stand before you at 185 pounds.
Nice, bro.
That's another win for you.
But it was deliberate, right, and a lot of work. But I had to get healthy.
Yeah.
Right. It was crazy. After we really made money, right? After we cracked the probably $10 million number, my blood pressure was 224 over 121.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You
Thought
could
I
have
was
been
gonna
dead.
die. I should have been dead, right?
Yeah.
But then I had this crashing realization of, I've now made it. I'm now successful, and now I'm going to die. Now I'm going to have a stroke. I'm going to have a heart attack.
That's when you were 265?
Yeah.
Did the doctor say, dude, what the hell are you doing?
It wasn't about my weight. It was about COVID. COVID thickened my blood. Made it really difficult on my heart.
Did you take the
jab?
No, God no. God no.
you
It's
never
government. No, I wouldn't take that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either.
It's not a vaccine. You know, it's I don't even know what you call it. Farce at this point. All the boosters. I'm 8th boosted or 27th boosted or whatever the hell you want to call it. You know, but I had to get healthy. And once I started getting healthy, my wife got healthy, my kids.
It was infectious.
It is.
And you saved your own life, I think.
And all my friends are in the gym now.
Yeah.
My swing coach wants me to strength train him. He's like, I'll trade you speed training for strength training.
Awesome.
Everyone, I mean, did I do it clean? No. Did I use every drug imaginable that they've created? Absolutely. But I'm 58. I needed testosterone. My testosterone levels were less than 100. So,
Hey, figure it out, man. Figure it out, and you're running with it now, bro.
And presentation is everything.
Yeah.
So you know how you look. You have a mirror, and what you look like to others and to your kids, and legacy. I'm sure all that goes through your mind. Like in life and death. Obviously, you value your life, and like me, one of my biggest fears is my kids and my wife not having me anymore. And it's not being narcissistic. It's that we have this nucleus, and you said it earlier, we're one package. Now I know if I pass away, she's gonna move on. My kid's gonna eventually get over it, and
I'll take care of her. Don't worry about it.
But in 10 years, I remember Dad used to do this, and my wife's gonna be with another husband, and but that's one of my biggest fears is not being there for my kids and my wife. And I was almost 200 pounds, and I had very high cholesterol, high blood pressure. At one point, Larry, I went to the ER because I was about 220 over 180. And my heart was just racing one night. I was just there watching TV, and I was just idle. And my wife was like, holy shit, we need to take you. And I'm like, no, I'm good. It'll go away. She goes, no, we need to go. She goes, we can't lose you. And I said, okay, let's go. And that's when I was like, I need to change something. And that, and couple that with the fact that J-Rock told me, dude, you're getting fat. So you put those two things together, and I was looking at myself on camera, and I'm like, dude, I'm hosting
Camera
a
throws on an
podcast.
extra 10, bro.
Yeah, I'm hosting a podcast, and I'm looking lethargic, lazy. How the hell am I going to talk about winning, leadership, all these things, optimization, and maximize potential? And I'm looking like shit. Can't do it. It's counterproductive, right? So I was like, I need to change something. And thank you, J-Rock. But yeah. So Larry, I know exactly what you're talking about. You just had to change your life, and now hopefully I can live longer and more prosperous, and my mind's clearer, and it's less cloudy, and I don't need all this medication. And it
took me 2 years to get off the blood pressure meds, but I got completely off.
That's
My
good.
doctor told me I'd never be off them. I told him, hold my beer, watch this.
Yeah.
2 years later, completely off. My blood pressure right now is like 118 over 79.
Wow. Yeah. Just my eating alone has changed my stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't changed a lot of my weight drastically, but I feel better. Like I said, you know, you feel tingles and shit. I used to feel that a lot. I feel like pins and needles were hitting like my feet, like man. And then once I just started,
That's circulation.
Stuff, oh yeah, definitely circulation. I have bad circulation alone. I have this. My mom had that stuff too, and I think I'm gonna be continuous of what my mom had to go through too with it all. Yeah. But no, you have to stay healthy, man.
Yep. I have another fear: J-Rock getting sick and no longer being with us, and then we can't do the Social Plug podcast or the Rise and Win show.
That'd suck.
So I need you.
Yeah, no.
You need to get him one of those little things he can put his feet on and pedal
do
while he's sitting there. Just keep the.
Yeah.
Just
So
keep the.
J-Rock, keep winning and
going.
get your ass in shape, sir.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, today's gonna show me everything.
But I've always seen J-Rock like this. I don't see him any different. He says,
I was at my biggest. I was at 260, bro. Now I'm at 245.
When were you 260?
So I was 260 back like 9 months ago, bro.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Because you look the same. I see you all the time.
Yeah, but it's the baggy clothes probably, you know. But, I mean, yeah. I mean, now I can fit in my XLs finally again. I was wearing a 2XL, bro. It was bad, you know. But, yeah.
Just remember, you can't outrun your fork.
Can't outrun your fork.
Can't. No matter how much time you spend on that treadmill, you gotta fix that diet because you cannot outrun your fork.
That's what it is.
No.
I'm eating bison, bro. I never tried bison, but I started eating bison the other day.
It's a burger?
Because and then I love eating red meat, you know. So like eating bison, change that out, turkey, you know, stuff like that. So just changing things up, you know. So.
Well, Larry, it's been a pleasure having you. It's been an honor.
Thanks for having me.
We had been talking about this for a while, and here you are today. So thank you. And we have one of your hard hats here. This is a pretty cool contraption. Do you want to put it on? Just so we can see how you look. There you go. There's Mr. Larry.
Boom.
All right. So, Larry, besides here in the chair, where can we find you? Social media?
At the gym.
Your website, at the gym, on the golf course?
On the golf course. Website, we have omega-cares.org is our nonprofit. Omega-contractors.com is our for-profit. And then we have a Facebook page, Omega Cares, obviously. I think we have X and Instagram.
Okay. You on TikTok?
I have tried not to get on any social media.
Okay.
I've got Duke. Duke Clements is my director of programs.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see him on there.
So he's spearheading all of that.
Okay.
I'm
good.
busy. I'm busy most days running the for-profit side.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to get to 100 million.
Okay. Hell yeah. Helping more people, man.
Just trying to get to 100 million. We're trying to get there by the end of next year. We've got some plans after that to get to $500 million, and then 5 years out to be a $1 billion company.
Very
Nice,
awesome.
man. That's awesome.
J-Rock, you got anything else?
Nope. I'm good, man. That's awesome. I appreciate everything you're doing, brother, for these veterans. Never was a veteran myself. Never was in the military, but my grandfather taught me to respect them all, and I do, man. So
Right on.
It's good stuff, man. I appreciate everything you're doing.
Yep.
Appreciate you having me.
So, Larry, thank you again. For those of you watching, we appreciate you. We love you guys. We love our veterans. There are resources for you out there to be successful, to get out there and rise and win. If you feel like you're in a challenging spot, challenging situation, burdens, you have the walls caving in on you, there's people like Larry Hromek and Omega Cares, the nonprofit that he's a part of, that can help you with, you know, getting back on your feet, getting to appointments, you know, helping you with your VA disability rating, and so many other things that he can do. Him and his team, and if he can't do it, he'll find somebody who can. So with that said, you are unplugged from the Rise and Win show, and we'll see you next time.